Hi guys, in this video I'm going to show you how to make this fantastic LED Star Wars sign. The materials that I've used are an A4 sheet of clear acrylic that I purchased on eBay. This is 3mm thick, which is about 1/8 of an inch. An A4 sheet of gloss black acrylic, again 3mm thick. A yellow LED strip light tape, again from eBay. You can get these in various lengths or cut them to length at the marked positions. I've also used some kitchen foil and 3 pieces of square planed wood. To etch the design on the acrylic sheet, I've used a Dremel engraver tool. First of all, I downloaded a font called SF Distant Galaxy, which is freeware and similar to the Star Wars font. I'll put a link to that in the description. So I've just double clicked on it and installed it. Then I ran the paint program. I set up the page by going to print and then page setup. I set the paper size to A4, the orientation to landscape. I set all of the margins to 0 and the horizontal and vertical centering on. Then I went into properties and set the units to centimeters, the width to 29.69 and the height to 20.98. Once the page size was set up correctly, I went into the text tool, selected the SF Distant Galaxy font and a font size of 72. Then typed in Star Wars. Then I resized the text to 200%. I opened the text tool again, this time setting the font to Impact with a size of 48. Then added The Force Awakens with double spacing. Then I just repositioned everything. And then it wasn't quite big enough, so I resized it by 120%. Finally, I lengthened a few of the characters. I joined the S and the T and the R and the S. And then it was ready for printing. To make the stencil, I simply printed out the design onto some thin cardboard and then cut out the letters with a very sharp knife. I also reinforced some of the edges of the letters with parcel tape. So firstly, I removed the protective coating from the back of the clear acrylic sheet, taped on the stencil and then taped on the LED light strip. And the reason for this is it makes it much easier to see where you're engraving. During the engraving, I used a ruler to make sure I had nice straight lines. To engrave the insides, I used the cut-out cardboard letters, marked the corners, and then used the ruler to fill in the lines. So I followed the stencil and engraved the rest of the pattern. It took about an hour in total. And that was it done. The base is quite simple. It consists of 3 pieces of wood glued together to form a slot with the LED strip in the centre. So first of all, I cut the 2 side pieces of wood to the same width as the acrylic sheet, which was 297mm. Then I cut the base piece 40mm longer. Next, I used a router to remove an edge from the 2 side pieces. The reason for doing so was that the LED tape was wider than the acrylic sheet and it allowed for some clearance. To improve the finish, I sanded the wood with 240 grit sandpaper. Then I applied wood glue to the base of one of the side pieces, stuck it onto the base, clamped it in place, wiped away the excess wood glue and then left it to dry. Once it was dry, I glued foil to the side to reflect light. An alternative is to use self-adhesive foil tape, and then I did the same again for the other side. To finish the wood, I gave it a clear coat of varnish. I removed the backing from the LED tape and stuck it in place. I removed the protective coverings from both of the acrylic sheets and placed them onto the base with the clear sheet over the LED strip. Then I used clamps to hold the rear piece of wood in place. I drilled some pilot holes through the base of the wood into the side piece and then secured it with screws. So that's the base finished. All I need to do now is plug the LEDs into a 12-volt power supply. So thanks for watching. Please comment, like and subscribe, and see you next time.